What is up, my Galaxy Gamers? Olivia back again, and today we are finally going to be celebrating 100 subs because I was supposed to have this out last year, but yeah, better late than never, I guess. So, you guys will remember when I reached 100 subs, I did a video asking how how should I celebrate 100 subs, and I also did a questionnaire where the last question was, how should I celebrate 100 subs? And you guys did give some pretty good answers. There were some weird ones like don't know cake and ASMR, which no, we're not doing ASMR. But I did get some pretty good ones like trying out a new game on the channel, talking about where I want to take the channel in the community, a live stream, or 3 random games. But the one that I thought sounded the coolest was the Q&A, because I haven't done a Q&A in a while and I've only done one of them, so I thought I might as well do one to give you guys an update on what's going on in the world of Livy. So yeah, let's go over to the questions. Okay, so the first set of questions was from my friend Super Mario DJ, and his first question was, what is your favourite series you've done on your channel so far? Any series that you didn't enjoy doing? So probably my favourite series on the channel at the moment would be, I think I would have to say the original Spyro 1 Reignited playthrough I did, because it was the first proper gameplay series I'd done, and it's really cool looking back on it and seeing how far I've come, but seeing where I started sort of thing. It's just nice to look back on. And yeah, I definitely feel like compared to the Spyro Reignited Take 2 series that I'm currently doing, I definitely feel like I was a lot more invested in the original Spyro 1 series I did. That's not to say I'm not enjoying Spyro Reignited Take 2, because I am having a lot of fun with it. I'm dreading the flight level episode though. But yeah, so the original Spyro 1 series I did, that's probably my favourite. Any series that I don't enjoy doing, there aren't any that I didn't enjoy. I would just say I didn't enjoy them as much as some of my other series, so I would have to say it would be In Space with Mark and FNAF, just the majority of the FNAF games I played. And before any of you lot come for me in the comments, just give me a second to explain myself. So with In Space with Markiplier, there was nothing wrong with In Space. I freaking loved it. Mark's little interactive videos that he does, like Heist, In Space, A Date With, I freaking love those. They're all amazing. The reason I didn't enjoy the series is because halfway through I got really anxious and shy and decided that I wasn't going to show my face anymore. It was also kind of because of editing stuff as well, the limitations with that. But yeah, it's not that I didn't enjoy In Space, I just wish that I hadn't got so self-conscious halfway through the series. But that's why I didn't that's why I didn't enjoy it as much as I would have, just because I got really shy and then was only doing voice reactions instead of you guys being able to see my face reactions. But yeah, so there was nothing wrong with In Space with Mark itself, it's just the fact that I got self-conscious. And then FNAF, again, this comes down to me. FNAF itself is a good game, although Security Breach is a bit debatable. Yeah. So with FNAF 1 and Lego FNAF, I am stuck on night 6 on both of them, and because I'm not a FNAF pro and I'm struggling a bit, I can't get past night 6, so I can't get to the custom nights, and that is a little bit annoying because I want to be able to go on to the custom nights, but until I've got through night 6 I can't do that, so I need a bit more practice. But hopefully I'll be able to get there at some point. But I don't plan on recording it because it will probably just be hours and hours of me dying. So it might be something I do off camera until I get the custom nights. And then with Security Breach, you guys will know that I restarted the entire game, and because I was 3 episodes in and I feel like I wasn't getting anywhere in terms of progress, so I restarted and I managed to do 3 episodes worth of content in under an hour. I was kind of speedrunning a little bit, and I did know what I was doing more, but like, yeah, I feel like in terms of progression for Security Breach, it's gonna be a bit of a slow one, and I'm not really too sure about that. But yeah. So yeah, next question. Question 2. Enough of my waffling on the first question. Do you prefer console gaming or PC gaming? Definitely console gaming, because it's what I grew up on. And just like the nostalgia of it. And honestly, I'm better at console gaming than I am at PC. Because again, it's what I'm more used to. But I will say, PC gaming, when I'm recording a video, it's a lot easier to set up because I don't have to plug in a capture card and all that jazz. I only have to worry about a mic and headphones. So, yeah, but definitely console. If you could support any creator you follow by getting any pieces of their merch, if they have some, would you? Yes, I would love to get like more Top of the Morning Coffee merch, or Cloak brand, which I think the only issue is it's just expensive and I don't have the money to be buying them. So yeah, definitely Cloak brand or Top of the Morning Coffee. I did have the double chocolate hot chocolate powder for Top of the Morning Coffee, and I've still got it. I've cleaned it out. I've cleaned the tin out, and I'm just using it as a pencil holder because why not? But yeah, so if I could, Top of the Morning Coffee and Cloak, but money is a thing, so yeah. Out of the FNAF games you own currently, which is your favourite and least favourite? Well, I think we've already clarified that I'm not too keen on Security Breach, but that's mostly because of hesitation and like not progressing as much as I'd like to because of the fact that I'm hesitant to like get out of hiding somewhere because I think that Chica's gonna come and eat me, or I can't tell where she is or something like that. I think Chica's been the worst like animatronic in Security Breach for us so far. Yeah. But my favorite FNAF game, I'm gonna say this, like, because I no longer own it because it doesn't work anymore. So I'm gonna say this is the FNAF game that I've played that I like the most. Is probably the FNAF 2 demo, because besides Bloom Boy, it is the first FNAF game, despite the fact it's a demo, that I actually managed to get through without dying. Like, I got through it first try. I know it was only night 1, so it probably wasn't much of a challenge, but yeah. Good. Definitely FNAF 2 demo, and then Security Breach for my least favourite, which I don't think it surprises anyone, really. Out of your collabs you've done, were there any problems you faced when doing them? Yes, storage, like, was a bit of a problem, and then, like, the aftermath, like, whether the video was, like, corrupted or the audio was corrupted. Yeah, I've come a long way since then, so I've managed to, like, fix those problems. Like, in terms of storage, I don't really record on my phone as much, unless I need to for like a DS video. But now that I've got a capture card, it makes it a lot easier to record Xbox and PlayStation videos, and then obviously PC videos, like, they're that easy to record. But yeah, Matt, Ethan, and DJ will all know that, like, during our collabs there have been some that have had to have been completely scrapped because it hasn't gone to plan. But I'm very lucky that, like, I have them, like, they're just awesome, and they're so understanding. Like, when something's gone wrong, they're like, oh no, it's okay, it's fun hanging out either way. So yeah, I'm very appreciative of them and lucky that they're such good friends. But yeah, I have had problems, but I'm very lucky to have such understanding collaborators and friends, so yeah. Do you plan to do any more collabs in the near future of the channel before the end of 2022? We're gonna rephrase that question. We're just gonna have it as, do you plan to do any more collabs? And yes I do. I'm hoping to maybe have 1 or 2 new collaborators on. I've just got to ask them, which is very is a little bit nerve-wracking, even though they're I'm friends with them and I trust these other 2 collaborators that I'm hoping to collaborate with. But yeah, it's a little bit nerve-wracking. But besides that, DJ, Ethan and Matt, you are all very welcome to come back to the channel for collabs, because the past few times we've collabed have been freaking awesome, so there will definitely be collabs with those 3. But yeah, and finally, how excited are you to have reached 100 plus subscribers on your channel, and what plans do you have for future subscriber goals? I'm very hyped that I've reached 100 subscribers. When I first hit 100 subs, I didn't announce it immediately because there was that one troll who was like, I'm gonna unsubscribe just to put you back under 100, just to tease you a little bit. So I did wait a little bit until I got a few over 100, just so that it's just so it was there, and I didn't look like a dingus butt saying I had 100 subs when really I was at 99. But yeah, I was super hyped for that, and I really appreciate you guys for sticking around and helping me get to 100 subs, because it's really cool. As for future subscriber goals, I haven't really thought about it, but I have said for my 4-year channel anniversary, if we reach 200 subs before the end of this year, or before the end of, before the channel anniversary, because that's the 28th of December, so it's pretty close to the end of the year, I have said that I will do a Spyro PlayStation 1 playthrough, maybe live stream it. I'm debating that because I'm not too sure about live streaming still. Yeah, I've said I will do a Spyro 1 playthrough on the PlayStation 1 with my face cam on whilst I'm wearing my Spyro onesie, if we hit 200 subs before the end of the year. So yeah, but besides that, I don't really have any plans because I just haven't thought. So the next set of questions is from my friend Becca, and she has asked me, if you could be someone else for the day, who would it be and why? And I'd probably I don't know. How long does it take to make your videos? Depends. If I edit them, then it takes around 4 hours because it's kind of dependent on the editing software. But if I don't edit them, if it's unedited, then it takes about 1 to 2 hours. And the reason it takes so long either way is because one, I gotta record the video, and then I've also gotta upload it. Sometimes my internet is a bit stupid, and it jumps from only having 15 minutes left to upload to suddenly needing an hour to upload. So yeah, it varies from time to time, but yeah, I mostly to make my videos, it's mostly just a factor of upload time and how long it just takes me to record in general. Yeah. Who is your favorite YouTuber and why? Jacksepticeye is my favorite YouTuber because cool accent, he's energetic, and he's funny. How long have you wanted to do YouTube for? I don't know. I wouldn't say it's something I've wanted to do. It was just I got bored in COVID, so I was like, you know what? I have a YouTube channel here. Let's try uploading some stuff to it. Let's see what happens. And I've just kind of kept it as a little hobby since then. Because it's just a fun thing to do in my spare time, and it gives me something to do as well. And an excuse to play video games. It would be cool to have it as a job, but that's gonna be, I would say that's probably gonna be quite a while before anything like that happens. So yeah, I wouldn't say that I wanted to do it. It's just something that I was kind of I was bored and then it's just, I've kept it around since then because it's a fun little thing I like doing. So the final set of questions is from my good friend Mr. Matt, and his first question is, now that you, True Player, and Mr. Matt have all done this as well as DJ, who do you expect to do a Q&A next? Well, at the time when this comment was posted, Ethan had put up a community post saying, ask me questions and I'll do a Q&A. He never actually got around to it though, and we were talking about it the other day. I think he just kind of forgot, but I don't know. So I think possibly Ethan will do a Q&A next, so I'm gonna go with Ethan. Yeah. What is your favourite game and why? My favourite game is tied between the original Spyro for the PlayStation 1 and New Super Mario Bros. DS, because I just have some really good memories of those with my siblings, especially with Spyro. We were just charging around the artisans, chasing sheep, just collecting whatever we felt like. I remember we never got past the Peacekeepers because we didn't have enough gems, and we didn't ever attempt any of the levels in the Peacekeepers world. I think, wait, no. We attempted Cliff Town, but that was it. We kept falling in the lake because we weren't gliding far enough, but yeah. And as for New Super Mario Bros., there was the multiplayer mode with my siblings. Like, that was chaos. We were just fighting each other for the stars, and the mini games as well, like throwing snowballs at each other as the Yoshis, trying to get the wanted character first. Yeah, but as for the main New Super Mario Bros. Game, I remember I was terrified of Bowser. And so when I got to the first castle, like the final section of it, where he first shows up, I was just kind of like, I don't know why I was scared of him, but looking back now, it's kind of like funny how I was afraid of him. Because the only thing that's really intimidating about Bowser is the fact he breathes fire. Like, he's not too spooky, to be honest. But yeah, so I just have good memories of those games, and that's why they're my favorites. Which brings us to the next question. What is your least favorite game and why? We have an R4 card, and it has 2 Professor Layton games on it. I don't remember what they're called, but they were like DS games, not the 3DS ones. And there was, one of them has a section where you're on a train with Luke, and he's unpacked his suitcase and made a mess. So you have to tidy it all back up, and you have to put it back in the suitcase, but not overlapping. Because if you overlap it, then it doesn't work. And I just remember never being able to get past that game. So I kind of got put off Professor Layton because some of the puzzles were just too difficult. And I feel like if I went back to it now, maybe I would be okay with it. But, yeah, I don't know. I don't think I would be too interested in it. I'm not too fussed about it because I used to struggle with it when I was little, so I don't think I'd have any fun with it, like, now that I'm older. Yeah. If you could change one thing about each FNAF game, what would you change and why? Right, we'll start with Security Breach. The main 2 things I would change about that, because there's a lot of stuff that needs to be changed in that game. The storyline, because Vanny was, like, highlighted in the trailers to be this really important character, like the main bad guy, and then she was just overshadowed. And all the glitches, because as funny as some of the glitches are, they can get very annoying when you're trying to progress through the game. So yeah, that's what I'd do for Security Breach. FNAF World and Pizzeria Sim, I haven't really played or watched enough of them, so I wouldn't be able to give a fair judgment. Like, I have watched quite a bit of, like, other people playing them, but I don't know. I really don't think I'd be able to give a fair judgment on them, because there's a lot to unpack in those games. UCN I would leave as it is, because you've got, like, you can customize your own challenges, there's power-ups, there's, like, little cutscenes after you win certain challenges. You can change your office, which is pretty cool. So I would leave UCN alone. Same with Sister Location. Now, I haven't, like, I haven't played any of it for myself, but I have watched Markiplier and a few other YouTubers play it. I would say because it's a bit more free roam than the first few games, um, I would say it's alright. I wouldn't really change anything about it because you've got different rooms, you can explore a bit more, there's a bit more going on. Like, you're not stuck in one room the entire night. Which brings me on to the first 4 games. There's nothing wrong with, like, the gameplay formula there. And I wouldn't say being stuck in one room for the entire night is a bad thing. Like, that's just how the gameplay works. I would say, though, either shorter nights or probably put a timer in. Because that way the person, like, whoever's playing knows how much time they've got left, and they can see, like, if they're at 5 a.m. and they've got 30 seconds left, that they can just, like, sit out and wait out quietly for the clock to tick over to 6 a.m. But yeah, I feel like having a timer so you can actually see how far you are into the night or how many seconds you've got left would be a lot more ideal. The reason I wouldn't do that for Sister Location is because, as I mentioned earlier, you've got more free roam stuff, so you're always, like, you're more on the move, and there's a lot more to, like, there's a lot more going on. So yeah, that's what I would change about the FNAF games. Yeah, I feel like I might have forgotten one. What is your best school subject? Do you have any related career aspirations? So I finished school and then I did a 2-year college course. So at the moment I'm currently just in a job. I was planning on taking a gap year, like, to decide if I wanted to go to uni or not, and it's kind of gone to 2 years because I'm still very unsure. I don't think I will go into uni because I'm not too keen on deadlines. Like, they are very stressful, and I remember that's kind of, like, one of the things that slightly put me off my college course as well, just the deadlines. They're not fun. But my best subjects were English, math, science, and media studies. So because I enjoyed media studies a lot, that's why when I went to college I did a 2-year course on level 3 film and TV. And first year I got a distinction, and then the last year I got a merit. So if I did want to go to uni, I have got the grades for it, but yeah. As for related career aspirations, I really want to do something that's like video or film editing. More video editing than film editing, because, like, editing an entire film I feel like would be a lot of pressure. Like, you got to be careful with that, because if you screw a movie up, then that's not going to be great in the box office. So you don't want to be doing that. So some sort of video editing, which is part of the reason why I've got a YouTube channel, because then I can kind of practice. But the thing is, I don't have proper editing software, so I'm kind of just saving up for another laptop, and I'm saving up for Premiere Pro, because I did have access to it in college, but then when I left, since then I've just been using a free editing software, which isn't too great and is sometimes a little bit enraging. So I reckon if I had Premiere Pro and a proper, laptop, then I could probably practice my editing skills and, refresh them, sort of thing. So yeah, but I would love to do some sort of film industry job or something like that, with editing, but the area where I live doesn't really have many opportunities like that. Like, the closest thing to being in the film industry here is working at Cineworld. So what would your ideal / perfect food be for an entire day? 3 meals and snacks. Okay, so I'm not really too picky with my foods. Like, anything that's remotely sugary is just heck yes. If this list sounds really basic, then that's why. But yeah, so for breakfast, I would go for a nice cold glass of orange juice with honey nut cornflakes because, yes, for sugary cereal. And then a snack after breakfast would be hot chocolate with whipped cream and marshmallows, and then a few cookies as well. And for lunch, I would have like a proper chocolate shake with sprinkles and more whipped cream. Um, yep, with a gooey mac and cheese or spaghetti, because those are my favorite two pastas. Like, as a kid growing up, if you asked me what I wanted for lunch, it would either be macaroni or spaghetti, like, without fail, every time. And I would have that with garlic bread. And then the snack after lunch is a bit of a weird one. This isn't something I would usually have, but there's some points where it's just like I want something more like savory. So for an afternoon snack, I've got sparkling water, baby bells, and samosas because they're like little snacky bites that I like. So yeah. And finally for dinner, I would have a chicken, mushroom, and sweet corn pizza with a cola, onion rings, and a slice of chocolate cheesecake. Because yes. Um, so yeah, bit of a weird list, but that's just me. So yeah. What YouTubers are you most inspired by? How and why? So there's a few here. I'll start off with the first three. So obviously I mentioned earlier Jacksepticeye's my favorite. Along with Mark and Ryan, they're pretty inspiring because they I wouldn't say like I'm not really sure how to describe it. I don't think I call it like open with their communities, but like with like 8-Bit Ryan. Recently he's done a video saying do I still enjoy uploading, something along those lines. Just like they can like talk to their communities, and like if something's bugging them then they can take a break and their communities are just like yes. And they all have lots of energy and are really interesting to like listen to and watch their gameplay. So yeah, and the other four YouTubers that inspire me, they're smaller YouTubers, but I really look up to these guys, and it's Shakespeare, Mr. Matt, True Player, and Super Mario DJ. Like if I ever have any issues with YouTube or like I need any advice, I know I can always go to them because they have like the same sort of struggle, and I can just talk to them. And they're like outside of YouTube, they're all really fun to hang out with and just chill with. Um, but yeah, I really look up to those guys because they're small YouTubers as well, and um, they keep like uploading and pushing through and like being like yes, keep going sort of thing, and that's really inspiring to me. Um, yeah. If you could go back in time, 5 years or so, what would you change? So about 5 years ago, I think I probably would have been starting my GCSEs. So I would tell myself not to worry so much because that's, I think a lot of kids, like when they first start their GCSEs, that's when everything really starts bubbling up inside. Because the school system sucks. Yep. But yeah, I think I would just tell myself not to worry too much, and maybe also upload a bit more over COVID, because there were points where it was like, I want to upload a YouTube video, but I can't be bothered to get off the sofa right now. So, yeah. Think, yeah, that. And the final question, where do you see yourself and the channel in 5 years' time? The channel, maybe around 600 to 800 subscribers perhaps. And as for myself, I don't really know. I think I'll still be doing YouTube as like a hobby side thing, but hopefully I'll maybe have like, hopefully I will have found like an editing job or some sort of film job sort of thing. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. We'll just have to see, because at the moment I have no idea about anything, to be honest. But yeah, so thank you, Matt, DJ, and Becca for your questions. I really appreciate it. And thank you to all you guys for sticking around and showing your support. It's really appreciated. If you guys do have any more questions that you want to ask, I could do a part 3. And yeah, so just leave any more questions in the comments. And until the next video, keep sparkling like stars in the galaxy. Bye!